Cancer, tender heart of the Zodiac, there is a profound, often unspoken loneliness that accompanies the journey of those destined to love and nurture with such boundless oceanic depth as you. It is not merely the solitude of being physically alone, but rather the poignant ache of pouring your entire magnificent emotional self into others, only to feel at your core unseen, unappreciated, or most tragically utterly drained. Have you, my sensitive one, ever found yourself navigating crowded rooms offering comfort and care to every soul, yet sensing a profound emptiness within your own heart, a quiet yearning for someone to truly hold your tender spirit? Have the countless acts of unconditional love and nurturing you've extended been met with an almost imperceptible acceptance, a subtle expectation that leaves you feeling more like a perpetually overflowing well than a cherished recipient? Perhaps you have, at some point, dared to open the deepest chambers of your heart, sharing your most vulnerable fears and your most tender dreams, only to witness that familiar flicker of discomfort in the eyes of others. That hesitant, almost imperceptible withdrawal that softly yet firmly whispered, "You are feeling too deeply for this world." For what felt like an eternity, Cancer, you learned a painful art, the quiet construction of formidable walls around your precious heart, merely to avoid unsettling the delicate sensibilities of those around you, or more painfully to protect yourself from the sting of misunderstanding. You cultivated the habit of celebrating your most cherished emotional connections in the quiet chambers of your own heart, having come to understand with a bitter clarity that when your love truly flowed forth, others sometimes felt not embraced but overwhelmed. And in that overwhelm, they would subtly and often unconsciously begin to undermine the very essence of your nurturing spirit. This silent sacrifice forged within you the painful necessity of reserving your most authentic, most vulnerable self. You mastered the art of concealing your deepest emotional needs, of consciously minimizing your innate sensitivity, all in a poignant effort to render yourself more palatable, less demanding, more comfortable in the fragile presence of others. And this burden carried in silence broke something within you, in ways you have never fully acknowledged even to yourself. For the deeply emotional spirit of a Cancer was never destined to languish in solitary confinement. Your sacred waters, your life-giving tides, were meant to flow freely, to nourish, to connect everything within your magnificent orbit. Yet when faced with the agonizing choice between being undeniably, irrevocably yourself or maintaining the precious proximity of others, you chose time and again to diminish your own glorious emotional current. And with each such choice, a whisper of your spirit, a fragile ember of your inherent joy, seemed to recede a little more. But Cancer, gentle heart, something has shifted recently, hasn't it? A subtle yet undeniable current in the air, a whisper on the wind, a strange, persistent knowing deep within your soul that something truly momentous is drawing near. It is as if after countless seasons of offering comfort alone upon an empty, echoing stage, a soul has finally irrevocably purchased a ticket to the grand unfolding sanctuary of your life. And this unique soul arrives not merely to observe passively from the hushed darkness of the audience, but to step boldly onto the stage beside you, to feel with a shared intensity, a matching rhythm, unafraid of the glorious depth that you so naturally emanate. There is a kindred spirit, a profound connection, gracefully entering your sphere now, Cancer. A soul who will never ask you to temper your magnificent emotional depth. A being whose spirit will remain entirely unthreatened by the vastness of your feelings, who harbors no desire to dismiss your sensitivities or compete for emotional resources. This soul arrives with a singular divine mission to gently yet firmly remind you of the unparalleled sanctity of who you truly are, especially when you are not cloaked in the shadows of emotional guardedness, when you are not holding back the boundless reserves of your heart. When you, with a newfound courage, permit your inherent feelings to flow with all their natural, unyielding power. You may have already perceived the delicate signs of this beautiful arrival without fully comprehending the profound tapestry being woven around you. Small, seemingly serendipitous encounters that pulsed with a significance far too potent to be mere coincidence. Conversations with strangers that touched upon the very core of your unspoken truths, subjects you believed resided only within the guarded sanctuary of your own heart. Synchronicities subtle, yet striking, that caused you to pause to breathe to acknowledge a feeling of this feels remarkably like home. These, my sensitive one, were not random occurrences. They were sacred preparations. The universe, in its infinite wisdom, was meticulously arranging the pieces of your destiny, ensuring that when this soul finally steps into the full light of your life, you would be at the very least minimally prepared to recognize them for the divine mirror. They are meant to be a soul who has arrived not to pass through, but to stay. If this whisper of recognition stirs something deep within you, if the truth of these words resonates with the quiet hum of your spirit, I invite you to anchor this unfolding reality into your world. Take a moment now, if it feels aligned, to offer your heart's intention. Please leave a comment below with "My nurturing heart is meant to be cherished." This is more than a mere phrase, Cancer. It is a declaration, a sacred vow. It is you consciously opening an energetic space for this profound connection to fully enter your life. It is you at last recognizing your inherent worth and broadcasting to the universe your readiness for connections that truly honor the magnificent emotional being you are. And as you engage in this act of conscious affirmation, you are also in your own unique way inspiring other Cancers to claim the deep, genuine connections they too so profoundly deserve. While you are here, consider also liking this video to send a wave of positive energy back into this sacred space. Share it with another Cancer who might need this gentle whisper of hope, and ensure you subscribe to Zodiac of Mind to continue receiving insights designed to illuminate your path. For what felt like an eternity, Cancer, you have been conditioned by life's challenging currents to anticipate abandonment from almost anyone you dared to allow close. You have, with a heavy heart, learned to expect that people would in time exploit your boundless empathy, abuse your unwavering loyalty, and take advantage of the immense open heart you so freely offered. And tragically, many indeed have. In response to this recurring pain, you meticulously constructed towering walls and an impenetrable shell around your tender spirit. You cultivated a healthy, albeit sometimes cynical distrust, a protective shield against further wounding. You began subtly at first to doubt the very possibility that anyone could truly love you for the unvarnished truth of who you are, your emotional depth, your sensitive nature, rather than for the comforting acts of service you could provide, or the emotional burdens you could bear for them. But this profound soul now gracefully entering your sphere will gently challenge every single one of those carefully constructed walls. Not with aggressive force, not by attempting to break down your defenses through sheer will, but rather through a consistent, tender demonstration of actions that speak far louder than any empty promises. They will over time quietly but undeniably show you that they are fundamentally different from those who have wounded you in the past. They will gaze upon your emotional depth not with a flicker of fear or discomfort, but with an authentic, pure appreciation that feels like a soothing balm to your weary soul. They will witness your greatest acts of nurturing and feel a genuine, unadulterated gratitude entirely devoid of that bitter taste of obligation or exploitation you have sadly become so acutely adept at discerning. The very first sensation that will profoundly surprise you about this individual is the unparalleled sense of safety. They effortlessly impart a deep, resonant permission to truly embody your magnificent emotional self. You have for so long learned to compress your feelings, to diminish your emotional stature, to make yourself less needy, merely to fit into the tight, often suffocating emotional spaces offered by others. But with this extraordinary soul, Cancer, you will feel a nascent yet powerful urge to expand completely, to unfurl every magnificent facet of your being. You will find yourself speaking of your deepest feelings, your most sensitive insecurities, without encountering that familiar, stifling judgment. You will feel free to share your profound needs without the gnawing fear of being labeled too much or too emotional. You will be able to nurture in all your natural, unbridled magnificence without the painful sensation of being taken for granted or feeling drained. And initially, this newfound freedom will feel profoundly unsettling, even frightening, for you have spent what feels like an entire lifetime under constraint, holding back. When you are finally granted this divine permission to be boundless, a part of you conditioned by past pain will simply not know how to embrace this expansive liberty. You will quite naturally question if it is a trap, a temporary illusion. You will, with bated breath, await the inevitable moment when this person too asks you to retreat, to make yourself small once more. But that moment, my sensitive one, will never arrive. For this soul has not entered your life to control, to diminish, or to confine you. They have arrived to witness, to cherish, and to celebrate your glorious, inherent emotional greatness. For those magnificent Cancers born between June 21st and July 1st, this pivotal soul may initially appear cloaked in the guise of a familiar connection. Perhaps a close friend whose wisdom now rings with deeper truth, a family member who suddenly offers unprecedented understanding, or even simply someone who at first glance seems to be present merely for the purpose of shared domesticity or comfort. Yet very swiftly you will perceive that the profound depth of your connection transcends the superficial layers of everyday interaction. It will resonate on a soul level far beyond the confines of routine. For those radiant Cancers born between July 2nd and 12th, this transformative individual will most likely make their serendipitous appearance within your social circles or through mutual friends. Their arrival will carry an effortless grace, a sense of coming home that feels entirely natural. And for the captivating Cancers born between July 13th and 22nd, the encounter will possess an undeniable, almost palpable element of destiny. It will feel as though you have recognized each other from a timeless place, as if you have known one another across countless lifetimes, even if this is your very first meeting in this earthly incarnation. What all Cancers, regardless of their specific decan, will universally experience in the presence of this profound connection is a resonant, deep sigh of finally. Finally, someone who requires no arduous explanation for the intense ebb and flow of your emotions, the depth of your compassion. Finally, someone who comprehends on an instinctual level that when your heart opens to love, it loves with every fiber of its magnificent being, offering security and devotion. Finally, someone whose spirit remains entirely unperturbed by the sheer magnitude of your feelings, the vastness of your need for connection, the towering ambition of your dreams for a true home. Cancer, I know intimately that a part of you, after traversing so many desolate landscapes of disappointment, has quietly, almost imperceptibly surrendered. After encountering countless individuals who swore their eternal presence, only to flee and retreat when confronted with the full, unvarnished truth of who you really are, your vulnerability, your moods, your needs, you cease to believe that a genuine, unwavering companionship could ever truly manifest. You convinced yourself with a heavy heart that it was far better to build your shell alone than to risk the agony of being diminished or abandoned once more. And this path, my brave one, has been arduous, has it not? To carry such a boundless capacity for love, yet to have no one with whom to truly share the boundless warmth it generates. But what if I, from this space of profound guidance, were to whisper to your heart that you are not only worthy of, but are destined for genuine soul-aligned companionship? What if I told you that you are not required to choose between the unadulterated truth of who you are and the comforting presence of others by your side? What if I revealed that there is indeed a singular soul in this vast world who was specifically crafted by the cosmos to walk with you, not lagging behind, not striding ahead, but steadfastly beside you, offering an authentic, radiant home for your heart? I invite you once more to ground this truth within your being. Leave a comment now if your spirit resonates, declaring, "I deserve a home for my heart filled with safety and love." This is far more than a simple sentence, Cancer. It is a profound statement of intent. It is your courageous spirit opening an energetic gateway, making sacred space for this person to finally and fully enter the vibrant tapestry of your life. It is you at last recognizing your own invaluable worth and proclaiming to the universe your readiness for connections that truly honor the magnificent, authentic being you are. And as you courageously pen these words, you are also in your unique and powerful way inspiring countless other Cancers to claim the deep, genuine worth they too deserve. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Zodiac of Mind to continue this journey of self-discovery and connection. The second profoundly striking characteristic you will observe about this individual entering your life is that they possess an inherent, unwavering emotional security of their own. They harbor no desperate need to drain your emotional energy, nor do they feel compelled to compete for the nurturing you so naturally offer, because their own essence shines with a quiet, undeniable self-sufficiency. And it is precisely this quality, Cancer, that will allow your two spirits to complement each other in such an exquisite, harmonious dance. Two tides in their celestial ballet do not engage in competition. Rather, they forge a magnificent system where emotional energy, rather than being divided, multiplies, nourishing realms previously parched. You will become exquisitely aware of this dynamic in your very first deeper interactions. While others perhaps listen to your heartfelt narratives with a distracted air, merely awaiting your pause to steer the conversation back to themselves, this extraordinary person will truly profoundly listen. They will pose questions that emanate from a place of genuine, unfeigned interest, delving deeper into the nuances of your feelings. They will recall minute details you mentioned in passing about your home or your past, and with a tender reverence revisit past conversations as if every single word you uttered held indelible significance. And when it becomes their turn to speak, you will be delightfully surprised to discover that they are as genuinely interested in listening to your response as they are in being heard themselves. For they do not speak to impress, nor do they engage in a subtle dance of emotional competition. They share from a place of such profound authenticity that it in turn invites you to respond with an equal measure of your unvarnished truth. It is a genuine, perfectly balanced exchange, a sacred space where both spirits have ample room to fully radiantly exist. The third distinguishing characteristic Cancer is that this person will, with a gentle yet firm hand, challenge you in ways that no one else has dared to before. These are not challenges that seek to diminish or criticize your magnificent spirit. Rather, they are invitations to expand even further, to become even more securely rooted than you already are. They will perceive within you a boundless emotional wisdom, a dormant strength that you perhaps had long forgotten you possessed. With tender encouragement, they will gently guide you beyond the comfortable yet sometimes confining boundaries of the protective shell you meticulously constructed after enduring so many disappointments. They will rekindle within your heart the embers of personal dreams you had carefully set aside, believing them unattainable because no one else believed in their glorious possibility. And the most beautiful truth, my nurturing one, is that they will accomplish all of this without ever attempting to mold you into their own image, without seeking to transform you into something that serves only their agenda. They will challenge you to embody the most authentic, most complete, most magnificent version of yourself, not an edited, diluted copy designed to better fit someone else's narrow expectations. Cancer, one of the deepest, most searing pains you have ever carried, was the heartbreaking realization that many people desired your comfort but not you. They craved the myriad benefits of being in the orbit of someone as empathetic, as nurturing, as unconditionally devoted as yourself, but they often recoiled from the sacred responsibility of engaging with your complex emotional needs, your tender vulnerabilities, your occasional moments of withdrawal. You became for far too long exquisitely useful, yet not truly loved. Profoundly admired for your care, yet not deeply understood for your depth. Undeniably desired for your warmth, yet rarely chosen for the luminous truth of who you intrinsically are. This new transformative person will utterly dismantle this painful pattern. They will desire your presence on your challenging, moody days just as fervently as on your brightest, most effusive ones. They will be there, a steadfast anchor when you are too utterly weary to nurture, when your magnificent emotional resilience flickers low, when you for once require unwavering support instead of perpetually being the emotional bedrock for everyone else. They will, with their quiet strength, illuminate the profound truth that vulnerability does not in any way diminish your inherent emotional royalty. In fact, it humanizes you, deepening the very fabric of genuine, unbreakable connections. You will notice this profound shift in the exquisite way they react in those moments when you would typically almost instinctively shut down. Those times when you are utterly exhausted from the relentless demand of always being the strong one, from consistently needing to comfort others, from perpetually serving as everyone's unwavering emotional support. Instead of expressing disappointment that you are not in your usual glorious nurturing mode, they will simply hold a sacred space for you. They will permit you to rest, to replenish without judgment or expectation. They will tenderly remind you that even the moon in its boundless power requires the cyclical surrender of obscuring only to shine again each time, even stronger, even more magnificent. The fourth characteristic that will deeply resonate with your magnificent spirit, Cancer, is that this person will possess a profound sense of loyalty that mirrors perfectly your own. Cancers, by their very nature, are fiercely, almost unyieldingly loyal. When your heart opens to love you, defend with an unshakable resolve, protect with an unwavering shield, and stand steadfastly by those you cherish, even when the path ahead becomes fraught with challenge and adversity. But you have, through painful lessons, learned the hard way that not everyone operates from the same noble code of honor. Individuals you entrusted with the deepest recesses of your loyalty have all too often betrayed that sacred trust at the first opportune moment to gain personal advantage or simply to avoid emotional discomfort. This luminous soul entering your life will, with unwavering consistency, demonstrate that mutual, profound loyalty still exists, that it is a vibrant, living force. They will not, like shadows, disappear when you are navigating the murky waters of difficulty. They will not abandon your side when a seemingly more convenient or less demanding connection presents itself. They will never not once speak ill of you behind your back while offering a disingenuous smile to your face. They will, through a sustained pattern of consistent actions over time, demonstrate beyond any doubt that when they profess to be with you, they are, in every true sense of the word, genuinely, irrevocably with you. And this profound, unwavering allegiance will mend something deep within your spirit. It will, like a gentle rain on parched earth, restore your faith in the inherent goodness of humanity in ways you didn't even realize you yearned for. It will tenderly remind you why it is so profoundly worth staying true to the magnificent being you are, even after all the countless times your inherent kindness was mistakenly perceived as weakness, your boundless generosity was callously exploited, and your immense open heart was treated with such painful disregard. The fifth beautiful characteristic you will discover, Cancer, is that this person will possess a truly unique, effervescent way of making you laugh. Not the polite, socially calibrated laughter you offer in various situations, but the genuine, uninhibited mirth that bubbles up from the deepest wellsprings of your being, causing you to momentarily forget all the heavy emotional responsibilities you so bravely carry. They will possess a sense of humor that is exquisitely attuned to your own, a delightful synchronicity, a unique way of perceiving the world that resonates profoundly with your personal perspective, as if your spirits share a secret, joyous language. Cancer, you have for far too long been entrenched in the serious aspects of life, the unwavering responsibilities, the constant need to be the strong one for others, to be the unyielding emotional pillar upon whom everyone else depends. In this noble pursuit, you may have almost imperceptibly forgotten the pure, unadulterated joy of simply having fun. This remarkable individual will lovingly reintroduce that lightness, that simple, unburdened joy of pure being. They will gently remind you that you are not perpetually required to be in a state of emotional performance, that you can simply exist without the incessant need to impress or to prove anything to anyone. The profound reason this soul is making their significant entrance into your life specifically now has everything to do with the magnificent, discerning being you have become through the crucible of past hardships. You needed in your divine journey to traverse those landscapes of disappointment to cultivate the subtle yet powerful discernment necessary to truly recognize something genuine, something authentic when it finally gloriously appeared. You needed to experience the shadows of the fake to fully, unequivocally appreciate the radiant truth of the real. Had this person entered your life in earlier seasons, Cancer, you might not have been fully prepared. You might still have been too open, perhaps too naive, too willing to overlook the subtle warning signs merely because your heart so desperately yearned to believe the best in every soul. But now you have meticulously developed a profound wisdom regarding the intricate dance of human relationships. You intuitively know how to pose the right questions, how to patiently observe patterns of behavior over time rather than simply accepting pretty words at face value. And this extraordinary person will, with effortless grace, pass every subtle test your wise, discerning spirit will often unconsciously administer. They will demonstrate an unwavering consistency where others have shown only instability. They will offer profound substance where others have offered only superficiality. They will prove through a sustained tapestry of repeated authentic actions that they are truly worthy of the deep, boundless trust Cancers so generously bestow when they finally wholeheartedly decide to trust. In the unfolding days and weeks ahead, I invite you to pay exquisite attention to the subtle sensations within your being when you are in the presence of new or existing connections in your life. Notice with particular tenderness if there is anyone with whom you feel an expansion rather than a contraction of your spirit. Someone who, when you are in their glorious presence, makes you feel like you can breathe deeper, speak your truth more loudly, and dream even bigger for your life and your future, rekindling within you that profound sense of emotional security and possibility you might have believed was forever lost. This subtle yet potent feeling is your most reliable, most sacred indicator. Your magnificent body knows before your analytical mind. Your intuitive heart recognizes before your intellect can fully articulate or explain. So trust this visceral, undeniable feeling of rightness, even when your conditioned, skeptical mind attempts to question its validity. The person who is entering your life to stay will not strive to convince you of their authenticity with mere words. They will simply show up consistently, unfailingly. They will be present in small yet profoundly meaningful ways. They will demonstrate through the gentle rhythm of everyday actions that they deserve a permanent, cherished place within the sacred tapestry of your life. And one day, Cancer, you will look back with a heart overflowing with gratitude and realize that at some imperceptible point, they ceased to be merely someone new and blossomed into someone utterly essential, a cornerstone of your peace and your emotional home. Cancer, you are truly deserving of this. You deserve a soul who not only tolerates your magnificent emotional depth, but who actively, joyfully celebrates it. You deserve a companion who sees you at your most vulnerable, your most moody, and chooses unequivocally to stay by your side anyway. You deserve an authentic, profound partnership, not a mere emotional burden to carry. You deserve someone who will eagerly step into the sanctuary of your heart with you, ready to share life's ebbs and flows instead of merely observing from the hushed sidelines. And most crucially, my sensitive one, you do not need to perform any special feats or prove your worthiness to deserve this extraordinary person. You do not need to prove yourself to endlessly nurture or to strive for an unattainable emotional perfection. You are in every exquisite facet of your being enough exactly as you are, with all your magnificent qualities and all your perfectly human vulnerabilities. The right person, the one divinely aligned for you, will cherish the entire glorious package, not an edited, diluted version crafted for someone else's comfort. When this profound soul finally settles fully into the vibrant tapestry of your life, You will observe deep transformative changes unfolding within yourself. You will, with a new ease, allow yourself to relax in ways you were previously incapable of. You will find yourself laughing more freely, dreaming more openly, trusting more deeply, as if their very presence grants you the sacred permission to simply be yourself without any need for filters or pretense. And those in your orbit, Cancer, will also perceive this beautiful change. They will remark that you appear different, lighter, brighter in a way that emanates not merely from the external but from the very core of your being. For when we are finally blessed with a soul who truly sees and loves us completely, it reshapes everything. It transforms not only our cherished relationships, but most profoundly, our relationship with ourselves and with the magnificent world around us. If this message flowing from the heart of Zodiac of mind touched something tender and deep within you, if you felt that familiar yet often suppressed twinge of hope, I urge you to honor that sacred feeling. Share in the comments below if you are ready to lovingly welcome someone truly genuine into the sacred sanctuary of your life. There is no need for intricate details. Simply acknowledge that you have, with courage, opened your magnificent heart to this profound possibility. Subscribe to our channel because your ongoing journey of reopening yourself to genuine soul-aligned connections deserves continuous support and gentle guidance. You will need sacred reminders that it is profoundly worth taking these courageous risks, that you are not being naive in choosing to believe again that your inherent greatness deserves to be shared with those who know intuitively how to truly value it. Be sure to turn on notifications to graciously receive further insights and guidance on how to recognize this radiant soul. When they appear, how to gently yet firmly allow them past your carefully constructed walls, and how to build something truly lasting and sacred with someone who is finally unequivocally worthy of your boundless loyalty. Cancer, my sensitive one. The profound loneliness that often accompanies the depth of your emotions is at last drawing to a gentle close. A kindred spirit, a magnificent equal, is gracefully rising to find you, not to exploit your heart, but to build a home beside you in perfect harmony as a true anchor. Someone who with intuitive wisdom understands that the most nurturing souls in their ultimate majesty are never meant to give alone. Prepare your heart, prepare your spirit. Your magnificent life is about to become immeasurably gloriously fuller, a true emotional sanctuary.